Hello and welcome to World News here on TVP World. I'm Marie Kaiser. At least 10 people were killed and 86 more have been wounded after the Russian army launched a massive drone and missile attack on Ukraine overnight into November 19th. The strikes targeted mainly Ukraine's energy infrastructure, forcing authorities to introduce emergency power cuts across the entire country. Explosions rocked Lviv around 6:40 a.m. local time, followed by power outages, and the regional military administration's report that the strikes damaged local energy infrastructure. No casualties have been reported in the city. However, in Ternopil, authorities reported that Russian drones hit high-rise residential buildings, killing at least 10 people and injuring 37 others. At the same time, drones and missiles struck energy facilities and residential buildings in the Ivano-Frankivsk region, wounding 3 people, including 2 children. Russian drones also struck the eastern city of Kharkiv, leaving at least 46 people wounded, including 2 children. The strikes prompted the Polish Armed Forces Operational Command to scramble the country's and allied NATO fighter jets to ensure the safety of Poland's airspace. This resulted in the temporary closure of Rzeszów and Lublin airports, which have since resumed operations. Overnight, Russian strikes on Ukraine forced the country's civilian population of Ukrainian cities to take shelter wherever they could, including inside subway stations. According to residents of Kyiv, Russia's goal is to destroy the Ukrainian nation, and according to a 68-year-old Kyiv pensioner, they are worse than fascists.
They are worse than fascists. I don't know what would have to happen for them to stop this. I don't know. It's kind of surreal. I just don't understand them. We started going down to the subway when debris or shaheds hit near our home. There was a shockwave. It's very scary when you look at that hole in the ground and you can't pull yourself together. Their goal is to destroy our nation, to destroy Ukrainians. They are doing everything they can in order to achieve their goal. You fear for your life and want to feel at peace, but it's very difficult at home. So you have to go to the shelter, regardless of how you feel yourself.
Poland's Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski addressed the Polish Parliament on Wednesday morning, confirming that Monday's act of sabotage on a railway line in Poland was an act of state-sponsored terrorism. He also took the opportunity to address other political issues regarding Poland's government and its relationship with the EU.
As you know, foreign intelligence services have recently carried out efforts that could have resulted in a rail disaster and many deaths. A foreign country sent well-prepared saboteurs. Only by some miracle they failed to achieve their objective. Russian military intelligence routinely hires contractors to carry out its dirty work under a false flag. This time, however, it was not just an act of sabotage, but an act of state-sponsored terrorism, as the intention to cause human casualties was clear. We will respond, and not only diplomatically. We will announce our response in the coming days.
On Tuesday, the High Anti-Corruption Court of Ukraine placed former Deputy Prime Minister Oleksiy Chernyshov in custody for 2 months. The former Ukrainian official has been charged by the country's anti-corruption agency with illicit enrichment in a corruption case involving state nuclear power company Energoatom. To avoid jail, the former minister has to post bail of over $1.2 million.
In the event of bail being paid, the following obligations shall be imposed on the suspect. Appear before the detective, prosecutor, investigating judge or court in this criminal proceeding upon first request, depending on the stage and procedural status. Not to leave Kyiv region without the permission of detectives of the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine, the prosecutor of the Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, or the investigating judge, depending on the stage of the criminal proceedings. Notify the detectives of NABU and the prosecutor of SAP in this criminal proceeding about any change of residence. Refrain from contacting Mendich, Zuckerman and Ustimenko. Surrender to the State Migration Service of Ukraine his passports for traveling abroad and any other documents granting the right to leave Ukraine, including the Ukrainian national passport, if not already surrendered. Wear an electronic monitoring device for 2 months from the moment of release from custody due to payment of bail. Such a decision looks shocking to me. I consider it quite absurd. Once again, I want to emphasize that in our opinion, the suspicion is not substantiated. The evidence is insufficient to impose such strict measures. All the more so because I'm not hiding. I am constantly in Ukraine, constantly communicating and appearing at the first summons to the HACC, to NABU, to SAPO. Therefore, in my view, this is to a large extent a sign of pressure on me. But from my side, once again, I want to confirm that I am interested in the fastest possible consideration of this case, and so that, as they say, the truth would prevail.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is in Turkey today to hold talks with his counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan and reportedly U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. According to Kyiv, the visit is intended to revive diplomatic talks between Russia and Ukraine. Turkey was the host of two previous talks between Kyiv and Moscow earlier this year and in 2022. Both meetings yielded little results. It is reported that Washington will also restart efforts to bring about peace in Ukraine. According to the Wall Street Journal, a delegation led by U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll is to visit Kyiv today and then head to Russia. Ukraine's General Staff is reporting that Kyiv's armed forces have successfully launched U.S.-made ATACMS supersonic tactical missiles at Russian military infrastructure, hitting intended targets. The Ukrainian Armed Forces leadership called the attacks a breakthrough without specifying the targets or their locations. They also announced that ATACMS missiles will continue to be used to fight off Russia's war of terror. According to Reuters, Russian authorities confirmed the missiles were used by Ukraine's forces. This is the first ATACMS strike confirmed by Ukraine's General Staff. ATACMS are U.S.-made ballistic missiles with a range of 300 kilometers. On November 18th, the United States approved the potential sale to Ukraine of upgrade and sustainment packages intended for Patriot air defense systems valued at $105 million. According to the U.S. Department of State, the sale will improve Ukraine's ability to meet current and future threats as Russia continues to strike the country daily. On Tuesday, the State Department informed Congress of the potential deal that includes spare parts alongside training and service packages for the Patriot systems, which Ukraine relies on to intercept incoming Russian missiles. The sale also includes upgrading the current launchers, which can fire more missiles at once. The deal will also come with the temporary deployment of approximately 5 U.S. government and 15 contractor representatives to the European Combatant Command for training and support. Recent developments in the world of finance might not bring good news to those who made significant investments in the cryptocurrency sector. The crypto market shed more than $1 trillion in 6 weeks, a notable drop from October 2025 when Bitcoin itself experienced an all-time high. And as the flagship cryptocurrency saw a 30% drop in value, the Central and Eastern European market is watching closely due to significant crypto popularity among investors. Maciej Wilowski has more in his report.
After years of tremendous gains, crypto investors are feeling the pain of falling prices. The price of Bitcoin, the world's biggest cryptocurrency by market value, is down almost 30% from its all-time high of $126,000 hit in early October. Since then, falling prices have wiped away roughly $1 trillion from the global crypto market. The reason? A broad sell-off in risk assets, or financial assets that tend to have volatile price swings and are considered riskier investments. Stocks, high-yield bonds, and cryptocurrencies all fall under this category.
There is a risk that there is a bubble on the market, the financial bubble.
Crypto prices are closely correlated to tech stocks like Nvidia, Apple, or Amazon, which have fallen in recent weeks due to fears of overvaluation.
The price of Bitcoin is very correlated with the price of technological companies. So actually it is not a gold, which is a safe haven. It is a speculative asset.
Until recently, tech stocks had soared, fueled by enthusiasm surrounding artificial intelligence, but concerns over rising debt tied to AI investments have taken the air out of the tech bubble.
You have so many companies that are chasing the AI train. And, the market is really concerned about the level of spending that is going towards AI.
Falling asset prices will undoubtedly impact investors in Poland, where the number of crypto users has surged in recent years.
In August this year, this figure was estimated to be almost 7 million people.
And when it comes to crypto penetration, Eastern European countries as a whole perform well. That's one of the findings of a report from blockchain data platform Chainalysis. Adjusted for population size, 3 countries in Eastern Europe, Ukraine, Moldova, and Georgia, top the charts globally in crypto penetration, with Latvia, Slovenia, and Estonia also ranking in the top 15. In Ukraine, cryptocurrencies have become an effective way for citizens to protect their savings amid war and economic instability.
Probably only Ukraine is the most advanced in Europe.
According to the report's authors, strong technical literacy and distrust of traditional financial institutions have led to high rates of crypto adoption in the region. While crypto investors in CEE countries certainly aren't immune from recent market turmoil, rising crypto adoption stands to reshape the region's financial landscape. Maciej Wilowski for TVP World.
The U.S. House of Representatives approved a bill that would require the Justice Department to release all documents related to investigations into Jeffrey Epstein. The bill was passed with overwhelming bipartisan support from Democrats and Republicans.
Who are looking at our phones know that the Senate has passed the bill on a unanimous.
This footage shows the Women's Democratic Caucus celebrating the passing of the bill with the survivors of sex offender and pedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The bill will now have to be passed by the Senate and then signed by U.S. President Donald Trump, who said he intends to do so, marking a U-turn from his previous position on the matter. The documents to be released include Justice Department communications, flight logs, and files concerning individuals and entities connected to Epstein, and are expected to shed more light on Epstein's global social circle of powerful figures. Pope Leo XIV has said that U.S. President Donald Trump's immigration policies treat immigrants living in the United States extremely disrespectfully. This is not the first time the Pope has criticized Trump's administration immigration policy. In September this year, he called it inhuman, drawing backlash from some conservative Catholics in the United States.
I think there are a lot of problems in the system. No one has said that the United States should have open borders. I think every country has a right to determine who and how and when people enter. But when people are living good lives, and many of them for 10, 15, 20 years, to treat them in a way that is extremely disrespectful, to say the least, and there's been some violence, unfortunately, I think that the bishops have been very clear in what they said, and I think that I would just invite all people in the United States to listen to them.
As of Tuesday night, firefighters in the Japanese Oita prefecture have been battling an extensive blaze just 25 kilometers from Oita's city center. According to local authorities, the fire has burnt down over 170 houses and other buildings, and one elderly person remains missing. More than 12 hours after the initial reports, the fire still isn't under control, having engulfed a vast residential area and the surrounding forests. As stated by Oita Prefecture officials, by 11:40 p.m. on Tuesday, 175 people from 115 houses were sheltered at a nearby community hall. The scale of the catastrophe has prompted authorities to implement disaster relief law mechanisms. It allows the central government and the prefecture to bear necessary costs, including expenses for using the community hall as a shelter for the victims of the fire. And that's a wrap for World News. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more on TVP World. Goodbye.